Okay, folks, we're back with part two of Professor Berninger's yellow journalism talk. So, what is the state of yellow journalism today? It's great. Yellow journalism is in great shape. Quality journalism? No, bad shape. But yellow journalism, the bias, sensationalist, we want to make money, so we're going to be borderline deceptive to get people to watch so we can make money, that's in great shape. And I'm going to highlight two examples of what I think is yellow journalism for you. Here is Fox News, 24-hour news network. There are three 24-hour news networks if you get all the cable stuff, cable TV. You have Fox News, which is conservative, Republican leaning, way leaning. MSNBC, which is liberal left, way leaning, Democrat. And then you have a CNN, which I don't really know because I don't watch any of these much anymore, but I used to. CNN I think has gone liberal, but they're very sensationalist, and I don't like any of these. So I want to point out how these two yellow journalist sites and then a good site, a good news broadcast, PBS, how they cover what is happening on the United States-Mexico border right now, right? Back to immigration. Excellent, Professor Berninger, weaving it all together. Immigration, which we talked about last class. So here we have, this is from Fox News, the Department of Homeland Security, that's DHS, Department of Homeland Security, a big federal agency that handles immigration, border stuff. Department of Homeland Security boss, this guy, called out for unwillingness to declare border crisis amid overwhelming migrant surge. So very sensationalistic, right? And this is anti whoever this guy is. I can't remember his name. And he works for the Biden administration. Joe Biden, President Biden, appointed him to this job. So you can see how this is grossly biased against the Biden administration. DHS boss, that's not nice. He called out. Who's calling out? Called out for unwillingness to declare border crisis amid overwhelming migrant surge. So to me, that is a biased headline. And if you clicked on it and read the article or watched the coverage, you can see that Fox is blaming all the problems at the border on the Biden administration. Here we have MSNBC, the more liberal, much more liberal, left-leaning, biased yellow journalism. And here's the same guy, Mayorkas, turns out his name. And look how they present the same events that are happening on the Mexico-United States border. Here's how they present it. Biden administration's Department of Homeland Security secretary, not boss, secretary, his title, respectful, addresses one of the most critical challenges he inherited, the situation at the southern border. So that is implying strongly that President Trump created this big problem at the border, and now President Biden's people are trying to fix it. So this is very pro-Biden and very anti-Trump. MSNBC spent 4 years beating up on President Trump, and Fox News spent 4 years glorifying President Trump. And neither of those things is useful, right? Because remember, the goal is for us to become informed citizens so we can get involved with civically, at least cast informed votes. MSNBC, Fox News, you're not helping. You're in fact making the situation really bad. So you can see how this is pro-Biden and anti-Trump. Now here we have PBS NewsHour, which I find very objective. They have balanced coverage, and notice how they put it. Biden administration scrambles to respond to surge of migrant children at U.S. border. Fact, there is a surge of children at the border. President Trump had very harsh policies. Maybe you think they're good. That's your business. Maybe I think they're good. That's my business. Where he split children from their families, and that made people stop coming to the border. Now that we have President Biden, people are coming back up to the border trying to get into our wonderful country. So that is true. There is a border crisis. There has been for a while. But look at the way this is written. Biden administration scrambles. Nice verb, a little sensationalist, but not bad. And it is a scramble, right? It's an unfolding humanitarian problem to respond to surge. There is a surge of migrant children at U.S. border. That's pretty factual, right? That's pretty factual. And it doesn't make Biden look good. Doesn't say really anything about President Trump because guess what? He's not president anymore. Why drag him into it at this point in the headline? So there are two examples of yellow journalism, sensationalist, damaging. Now, who watches that stuff? Well, people who agree with Fox News and like President Trump watch Fox News because it tells them what they want to hear. News shouldn't tell you what you want to hear. Well, then why does it, Professor Berninger? News tells you what you want to hear so that you'll watch. And then you'll watch the ads, and Fox News can make a lot of money. If you like Biden and hate Trump, you will watch MSNBC because they tell you what you want to hear. And then you sit and you watch the ads, and MSNBC makes a lot of money. So PBS NewsHour is viewer supported, a little bit of government support. They do have underwriting, so they need to generate a little income, but they're really not in it to make a lot of money. And they draw an audience like me who want news that is told like it is, that is not yellow journalism. So MSNBC, Fox News, they make their choices based on getting more people to watch so they can make more money. Capitalism, right? So that's bad, though. It's very bad. And we support it when we watch it. Every time somebody tunes into yellow journalism, they're supporting it and promoting it. It's our fault, right, for the choices we make. So what is the danger here, Professor Berninger? What's wrong with people watching what they want to hear? Well, the problem is when you have one news broadcast for one group of people and another news broadcast for another group of people, the broadcasts are wildly different. I mean, if you have all the cable channels, do me a favor, some night, switch back and forth, some weeknight at like 8:30. Switch back and forth from MSNBC to Fox News, and you'll be like, are they covering the same events? It seems like they are, but this is completely opposite coverage. That's bad when you only hear what you want. Like this guy is only getting what he wants. He's only clicking on what he wants to see. And of course, he then has a skewed, a damaged view of news. And MSNBC, if this guy is a conservative Fox News person, he thinks MSNBC is completely wrong and Fox is completely right. So therefore, I'm only going to believe what I want to believe. That's when you go down the fake news hole. That's when a politician can get away with saying, all right, so if I'm a politician, an elected official, or a business person, and Fox News says that I'm terrible, I'll just say, oh, well, that's Fox News. That's fake news, right? That's not real. It's fake news, or MS, whatever. Well, then I can, some of it is fake news on Fox and MSNBC since it's sort of skewed. I can quite easily, then once someone covers something that's true, I'll just say that's fake news, right? So my point is, settle down, Berninger. When you have yellow journalism, and believe me, there are places that are far worse than Fox and MSNBC on both sides. When you have yellow journalism and people only hear and see what they want to see and hear, and it's so biased and so false and misleading just to sell, right? Then you start to lose your touch with reality. You fall down you fake news hole. You think whatever you don't agree with is fake. Whatever you agree with must be real. That means you've lost touch with reality. And then you wind up with this guy. Remember him from our first day of class? This is a QAnon guy, right? And QAnon is a group of people who firmly believe that a lot of powerful people and elected Democrats like Biden and the Clintons, who aren't around much anymore, that they have an extensive ring of children that they sexually abuse, and sometimes they even drain their blood and drink it. And that someone named Q inside the government is going to spill all this information, and all of those people will be exposed. And many of these people thought that Donald Trump was going to be that person. So a lot of them who believed this wacko idea showed up to storm the Capitol on January 6th, right? And this person here, and by the way, I just Googled QAnon idiot, and this picture popped right up. It's wacko, right? It's crazy stuff. But I feel badly for this guy. You know, in some ways, he's a victim of biased contemporary yellow journalism, because you can find places that only tell you what you want to hear, and if you're told that things you don't want to know are fake news, well, that's fake, and then you lose touch with reality, and this poor person has lost touch with reality. So here he is believing in QAnon conspiracies. And it's only getting worse, right? Because the internet knows you so well that the internet then selects things. When you Google things, you get things that you are going to want to read. Google is not objective. Google has a huge file on you on a server somewhere. So they know I like bicycles and cats. So when I Google something, they're going to try to find a source that has a bicycle or a cat angle. So I stay online longer. Very bad, very bad. Yeah, so here is my chart again that I love so much. I think it's very accurate. And up here at the top, we have factual news outlets that are not too biased. So you see Associated Press, Reuters, Bloomberg is up here. You see the New York Times is a little left here. The Wall Street Journal is a little to the right, conservative, like I said. I'm going to say in a minute, but anything in this green box is good. Anything as we go down here, this way is skewed conservative, this way is skewed liberal, actually left and right. And then as you go down, it becomes less and less factual. CNN isn't too biased, but they're declaring them kind of inaccurate, which is pretty bad. So I love this chart, and I agree with it completely. And you can find it at MediaBiasChart.com 2018. A lot of people don't like this chart because most people who would look this up are either on one side or the other, and they're going to think that their side is correct. So Professor Berninger's choices for you. Professor Berninger's advice on where to get news. TV, if you want to do it the old way. PBS NewsHour, online at pbs.org. I'm going to be honest with you, you have to get used to it. You'll find it boring because it's not a lot of yelling. It's not getting all hepped up and scaring people. It is facts presented in long stories thoroughly. It takes a while to get used to it. You can find it at pbs.org or locally 630. Newspapers, NewYorkTimes.com, liberal leaning, free subscription available to you as a Columbia Green student. If you want a little balance, you go to Wall Street Journal. It's more businessy, but they have a lot of good news. They're a little more conservative, but both of those are very good sources for news. I think total objectivity, Associated Press, AP News, apnews.com. You put your email in if you want, and every morning you get emailed the news objectively. That's what I do. I would completely avoid MSNBC, Fox News, and CNN. They really just want you to keep watching so they can sell ads, and that's how they make their choices. Bad way to do journalism. Other good sources, BBC, Times Union for Capital District, Albany stuff, and Reuters. They're all, I think, pretty good. So if you want to be an informed person, which is your responsibility as an American, you have to find, and it's not that hard, find good news sources, avoid bad news sources, and understand that news outlets make choices to get ratings. They don't make choices based on quality, even accuracy even. You would hope that that's a part of the decision, but always ask yourself, why is this outlet, why is this news presenting it this way? And it's probably the answer is going to be to keep you there watching it. So there you go, Professor Berninger's take on yellow journalism then and now. Stay informed, do your best, people.